Welcome to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. I am your host, Darryl W. Perry, the Liberty Penguin, the Wombat, the uncut cocaine of libertarianism. This is episode 499, the last of the best ofs before episode 500. Guaranteed you do not want to miss episode 500. It will be amazing. You may have noticed there wasn't a show on Wednesday. Darryl, what's going on? Why was there not a show on Wednesday? Well, if you're not on social media, Facebook, Twitter, then you missed the announcement that for the foreseeable future, at least, until June, say, the Wednesday show will not be happening. The Ask Me Anything will shift to Friday. So I'm still doing a weekly Ask Me Anything episode of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. That's just going to happen every Friday. The Monday show is still going to happen. But why, Darryl, why is there no Wednesday Ask Me Anything? Why is it now a Friday Ask Me Anything? And, well, those weren't actually questions that were submitted, but they're, important pieces of information that you probably want to know. Well, as you may or may not know, and you probably do know if you've listened to this show for any length of time, I'm an official lobbyist now. And the legislative session just started, meaning that there are committee hearings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. In years prior, the main committee hearing days were Tuesday and Thursday for the New Hampshire House. Well, that changed to Tuesday and Wednesday, and the legislative session, that is the time that the legislators get together and vote on stuff. Hopefully they wind up passing more things that increase liberty and defeat things that decrease liberty and repeal things that are on the books that decrease liberty. Hopefully that happens. That day is now Thursday, where in years past it had been Wednesday. So their schedule changed, my schedule changed. So that's why no Wednesday show, again, for the foreseeable future. And depending on what winds up happening after, say, June, or whenever they finally wind up ending their session and stop having regular committee hearings, I may or may not bring back the Wednesday show. Right now, I plan on doing that, but I might just decide, instead of, changing the schedule of when shows come out, I might just keep doing the Monday, Friday. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Now, again, this is the Ask Me Anything episode, and I've got a couple of questions here. The first one is, have you ever listened to Gary Hendershot? And apparently at the time that this question was sent in to me, this guy, who I have never heard of, was streaming live on YouTube. And seeing as how I've never heard of Gary Hendershot, no, I've never listened to his show. The next question is, Darryl, would you consider this? And I'm going to take some liberties with the wording of this question. Would you consider this? I think it would be awesome if you and name redacted, an alt-right troll that has his own channel on YouTube and TuneIn, has his own podcast that I will not mention the name of, says, I think it would be great if you two got together on a live stream on his show, maybe something like immediately post-inauguration for analysis and review. You should go on the show. Let me know if you want to schedule it so I can be on YouTube. It would be exciting and fun. No, it would not be exciting and fun. Because this individual is known for being a complete a-hole. And also, I know that he doesn't really care for me. So there's no need for me to go on the show of somebody that, one, doesn't like me, and two, is an absolute complete a-hole. Admittedly, it used to be on his business card. With that said, you might be able to figure out who I'm talking about, but I will not say his name here. Final question, not really a question, but it did come to ama@fppradio.com, which is where you can submit your questions. And again, the Ask Me Anything will be every Friday. Again, this came from someone who's actually a member of the Fans program, and you can find out more about that at fans, that's fans.fppradio.com. Now, what is the Fans program? Well, the Fans program is where you can donate, money monthly to me, and you get perks like ad-free versions of this show, ad-free versions of the daily newscast that I produce and have been producing for almost 4 years now. February 3rd will mark the 4th anniversary of that. So the question, again, came to the ama@fppradio.com email address. Says, Darryl, not really an AMA question, but did you know that the January 6th FPP Radio News on Patreon, and Patreon is the website that I use for giving out most of the perks for the Fans program, is mislabeled as January 7th FPP Radio News. And I did not realize that at the time that the message was sent, but it does allow me to talk about a really neat feature of Patreon, which, since the Fans program runs through Patreon, it's a neat feature of the Fans program. You can actually leave comments on the post on Patreon. You can also, there's the community feature, and Brian Sovereign, his supporters and patrons, that's what the people that donate through Patreon are referred to, his patrons wind up making liberal use of the community feature. And it's really nice because, you can send show prep. And I don't really promote the Fans program as much as I should. And, I told myself a while back that I would try to promote it at least once a week, other than in the commercial breaks. And I failed horribly at promoting that. I'm not that great of a self-promoter. But, yeah, that is there. You can leave comments, and I actually prefer that because I only check the AMA email once, maybe twice a week. Stay tuned. There's more here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Coinbase is a simple and secure online Bitcoin wallet for sending, receiving, and storing Bitcoin. Coinbase also allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin using a bank account or use their tools to accept Bitcoin as a merchant. Coinbase has more than 1 million consumer wallets and is trusted by over 25,000 merchants, including Overstock.com, Khan Academy, Reddit, and of course, FPP. Get started at coinbase.fppradio.com. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. That's fans.fppradio.com.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. So, again, to sum up what I was saying about the Fans program, and if you are a member of the Fans program and there's ever some show prep or something that you think I should cover or you want me to cover, just submit it through Patreon and I'll see it a lot faster than if you send it to me through the ama@fppradio.com email address. Now, before we sort of, change gears here, because those were the only questions that I had for the Ask Me Anything. I want to make sure that I tell you about the wonderful people at Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. Since 1977, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And they take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases, and they've permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. So call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760. That's 800-874-9760. Or visit online at rrbi.co. Now, again, changing gears here, what happens when you wind up doing the same physical exercise every day for an extended period of time? Now, we've talked a good bit recently about habits. Now, it's been a few weeks, but we've talked about habits and how there are good habits and there are bad habits. And I think that, getting into shape and staying healthy is a good habit. And I, have drastically changed my physical appearance as far as, I've not done anything, to my face. But, I lost from February 28th of 2015 until today, I am down 120 pounds, and I'm actually about 22 pounds or 25 pounds heavier now than what I was 1 year ago. So in less than a year, I went from weighing 317 pounds to 172, and then I gained back about 30 pounds last year, and I've dropped about a third of that. So right now, this morning, I weighed 197 pounds. And I am, resolved to wind up getting back to about 175. Somewhere between 170 to 175 is probably where I'm wanting to wind up staying. And, I saw a video on YouTube couple of weeks ago, right around the first of the year. And I think it was actually just before the first of the year, where it was this video that a guy made where he said he did 100 push-ups per day for 1 month. And you could see that, he toned up his chest and his arms. And, well, I've been having some shoulder pain. So I was like, all right, instead of doing that, let me try doing something different for a different body part. So I started what I'm calling #ab day every day, where I'm doing 50 sit-up, or actually 50 crunches, because crunches are better than sit-up because you're tightening your abs. And, I used to be one of these people that was like, crunches, those are just weak sit-ups. But you're tightening your abs, and it's a really good ab workout. So I'm doing 50 crunches minimum, and I'm also doing 50 bent knee hip lifts that also include what is called a hip up, something I'd never heard of. And I didn't intend to do that. I just was doing the bent knee hip raises incorrectly. So what a bent knee hip raise is, where you lay on your back and you start off with your feet together about 6 inches off the ground. And that really uses your core muscles to hold your legs up. Most people think, I'm raising my legs. That's my leg muscles. No, it's actually your core. And you have a slight bend in your knees. And it's kind of the opposite of a sit-up or a crunch, to where instead of you lifting the upper half of your body, you're bringing the lower half towards you. And I'll actually post a link to a video that shows this. But, I'm trying to paint the picture here. So you lift your knees towards your body, And then what I've been doing is straightening the legs up above me and lifting my hips a little bit. So that's the hip up part where you lift the hips and straighten the legs above you. And then you control your hips going back down and your legs going down. That way you're not just rocking back and forth and not really using the core muscles. So again, I'm doing a minimum of 50 of those and 50 crunches. And we're on the 13th day. I've not yet done them. As of the time I'm recording this, I have not yet done my ab exercises today, but I will get it done here shortly. And I'm just going to see. And I don't expect to get a six-pack because, like, I've still got sort of love-handled excess fat around my gut. But, you know, I'm wondering if at the end of 30 days I'll at least have, like, an ab. You know, hopefully there's one that you can wind up seeing. And yes, I know that there are pairs of them, so if you see one, you'll see two. But just play along and laugh at my jokes. Please, that's all I really want, right? Is for somebody to laugh at my jokes. And, you know, well, there are other things that are also good to go along with laughing at jokes. But, you know, well, what exactly, and I forgot where my train of thought was even going before I mentioned the push-ups and habits of getting into shape. So I saw the video of the guy that was like, do 100 push-ups every day. And then I found something to where it's a program that steps you up to where you can do 100 push-ups all at one time instead of 10, 10, 10. And we'll talk about that. And running a mile every day, maybe, here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. That's weusecoins.com. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
You're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Hey, welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. So, there's a website, 100pushups.com, where they say that the goal of their program is to train the body from being able to only do one push-up to being able to do 100 consecutive push-ups in less than 2 months. And they say that this will help sculpt the muscles in the chest, the abs, the back, the glutes, and the arms without a single piece of unwieldy equipment. And it starts off with a test, and I've not yet done the test. I'll probably wind up doing it, but like I said earlier, I've been having some shoulder problems, and I really should probably go get this checked out by a doctor. But, you know, like I'd say about 90% of the movement of my shoulder is fine, but there are certain ways that if I move it, it's like, that hurts. I shouldn't do that. So I've, just adjusted my workout. Now, I should be able to wind up doing push-ups because I can do a bench press, no problem. So I might wind up doing this 100 push-up program to see, how quickly it takes me to wind up being able to do 100 push-ups at a time. And then I might wind up doing the push-up day every day. I don't know. But I'm really, interested in just, like getting back into shape and being in better shape now than I was when I was in high school, because that's just really exciting, right? To be able to say that, I'm pushing 40 and I'm in as good of shape or better than when I was in high school playing football. So, again, I'll post the link to the 100 push-up program, and then there are variations that you can do where you can do what are called knee push-ups, where you're on your knees. You can do bench push-ups where you lean against a bench. There's knuckles, so if you have wrist problems and, bending your wrist and putting weight hurts your wrist, you can go on your knuckles, although they do suggest using a mat or a folded-up towel up under your knuckles. That way it doesn't hurt your knuckles on the hard ground. And you can also lean up against a wall if you need to. But then there's another article that I stumbled across from a website called mindbodygreen.com. And the author here says, I actually ran a mile every day last year. Here's why I recommend it to anyone. And apparently this is in response to Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg having posted his New Year's resolutions on, where else? Facebook. And one of his goals was to run 1 mile per day for 365 days. The author here says, props to Zuckerberg for bringing awareness to health and fitness, but he's not the first one to come up with the idea. We asked a contributor who's already been been there and done that to tell us what it's really like to run a mile a day all year long. And this story begins in December 2014. I was thinking hard about resolutions for 2015 and realized it was a complete waste of effort. I had not once ever been true to any of them, so I told myself, either commit or don't. It's that simple. From that moment, I made a vow. Put in at least 1 mile per day every day for all of 2015. In other words, if I ran 3 miles on Tuesday, that did not mean that I could take Wednesday and Thursday off. I was committed to running 1 mile per day every single day, minimum. And he says that's a minimum target that he can measure. Then he shared his plan on social media. And I don't know why I said that. I should be reading the article, not telling you what the article says. He says, then I shared my plan on social media so my friends could hold me accountable. Should I fail, I would lose $1,000 and my friends and family would decide where it goes. So that is literally putting your money where your mouth is. Now on #AbDay every day, I've not put up any kind of thing of, if I don't do my ab exercises, I give somebody money. But I'm just committed, and I've got an accountability partner who is sending me messages on a daily basis. Hey, Darryl, have you done your ab exercises today? And then I'll post something on my personal Facebook, and I've got other people that are posting the same thing of, hey, Darryl encouraged me to start doing ab exercises, and this is what I did. So, I've got people holding me accountable. I don't need to put money up on this, but it's not bad to wind up giving yourself financial incentives to do what you say you're going to do. The article continues, a number of people told me that I should challenge myself more, make it 2 or 3 miles. I get it, 1 mile isn't a lot, but that was intentional. This wasn't about the distance or the run. The mile was the easy part. It literally takes between 8 to 10 minutes for most of us who can't carve out 15 minutes a day for health. The hard part was to stay consistent every day of the year, no matter what was going on. He says, the first day I put in a mile, I walked out of the house. I was pumped to start. It was 48 degrees, and I stretched a little. When I first took my first step, it began to rain. Chilled and wet, I finished the mile. Day 1 done, 364 to go. Over the course of the year, I had to put in my time to commit I had time to put to commitments of all hours of the day. I ran in the cold in extreme heat, and there's more. Stay tuned to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic. Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by Darryl W. Perry on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, ask for A Rebel's Journey wherever books are sold, or visit arebelsjourney.com.
Hi, this is Davi Barker from ShinyBadges.com, and you're listening to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio with Darryl W. Perry.
Welcome back to Peace, Love, Liberty Radio, online at fppradio.com. Talking about the benefits of running 1 mile per day, every day. The author of the article says he once ran in jeans because he was ready to do his run, and that's all he had on. In October, he ran in the JFK airport in New York City. The TSA just looked at me with indifference as I passed for the 5th time in 10 minutes. All these challenges didn't come without amazing gifts attached. He says, I was able to run in some of the most beautiful places and cities on earth. He ran in New York City, San Francisco, Nashville, Miami, Paris, Bordeaux, Tokyo. So obviously, this is a guy that was doing a lot of traveling anyway, and he had dedicated himself to run 1 mile per day, every day. Skipping down here, he says, I learned in my journey that commitment is all about consistency. Most of it is not very sexy. Most days were just simply me, alone on the streets where I lived, or in a gym on a treadmill, watching the same reruns of SportsCenter and Seinfeld. I completed my 365-day commitment on January 1st, 2016, with a 5K run on the beach at Kiowa Island, just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. My family was there with me, and my wife ran a mile of the 5K with me. The greatest impact, he says, of this commitment was to challenge myself to consider where else I could commit. I found reinvigorated commitment at work with my team. I found commitment at home to be more present with my wife and kids. The small commitment to a mile a day had dramatic impacts on all of the peripheral details of my life. It has made me keenly aware of commitment or lack thereof in myself and others. And I've skipped a good bit of this article, but as always, it will be in the show notes. You can read it for yourself. And, it really makes you think about what can I commit to doing every day for a month. If I can do it every day for a month, can I do it every day for 2 months? If I can do it every day for 2 months, can I do it for 3? If I can do it for 3, can I do it for 6? If I can do it for 6, can I do it for a year? What things have I never done that I've always wanted to do that I've been too afraid to try? Well, one thing that I'm doing is I'm actually training for a half marathon in a couple of months, and I'm thinking that I'm probably going to try doing a marathon in the fall. We'll see. And, of course, I'll let you know how it goes here on Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. Don't forget, every Friday I answer your questions. Send those over, AMA@FPPradio.com.
The podcasts of FPP Radio are licensed under Copy Heart. We believe that copying is a form of flattery and do not abide by the copyright laws. Those laws serve to restrict the flow of ideas which no one can really own. Copying is an act of love. Love is not subject to law. If you enjoy the show, consider joining the Fans program and get perks like ad-free versions of Peace, Love, Liberty Radio and FPP Radio News, and also get a copy of the monthly newspaper FPP News. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com.